Most men think rejection happens because they're not attractive enough, but the truth is much deeper than that. Rejection usually happens long before a woman says no. It happens in the emotional atmosphere, in the pressure she feels, in the nervous energy most men don't even realize they're giving off. And tonight, I'm going to show you the psychological mistakes that silently destroy attraction and the emotional shifts that naturally pull people closer. But stay until the end, because the final technique is the one almost nobody notices. Yet once you understand it, you'll start seeing it everywhere. In conversations, in relationships, even in the people women become obsessed with. And trust me, the last point changes everything. Here's the first thing most men completely misunderstand about attraction. Women rarely reject a man because of his looks alone. They reject the emotional experience around him. Think about that carefully. Women can meet two men who look almost identical physically, yet feel completely different emotionally around each of them. One feels heavy, needy, tense, constantly trying to prove himself. The other feels calm, grounded, emotionally present, comfortable in his own skin. And almost every single time, the calm man wins. Why? Because attraction isn't just visual. Attraction is emotional interpretation. Women respond to how a man makes them feel internally: safe, curious, excited, relaxed, understood, or pressured, awkward, uncomfortable, drained. And most men unknowingly create pressure because they become obsessed with getting validation too quickly. But in a few minutes, I'm going to show you the exact emotional pattern that quietly flips attraction in your favor without forcing anything. Now listen carefully, because this changes the entire way you look at connection. Men and women often experience attraction differently. For many men, attraction is immediate, visual, instant. You see someone attractive and your brain reacts automatically. But for women, attraction often builds in layers. Emotional layers. Woman can feel almost nothing during the first conversation, then weeks later realize she can't stop thinking about the man. And that confuses many guys because they assume attraction should happen immediately or not at all. But female attraction often grows through emotional repetition, through emotional safety, through anticipation, through emotional consistency. Small moments begin stacking on top of each other. The way he listens, the way he stays calm during silence, the way he doesn't chase approval, the way she feels relaxed instead of pressured around him. And suddenly attraction appears almost out of nowhere. But it didn't appear instantly. It accumulated quietly beneath the surface. That's why patient men often become the most attractive men, because they allow emotional tension to grow naturally instead of forcing results too early. And this leads to one of the biggest mistakes most men make. They rush the emotional process. The moment they feel chemistry, they immediately start trying to secure the outcome. More texting, more compliments, more pressure, more neediness hidden behind confidence. But desperation always leaks emotionally. Even when the words sound confident, the energy underneath still feels anxious. And women are incredibly sensitive to emotional energy. They can feel when a man is emotionally centered, and they can feel when he's silently panicking inside, trying to avoid rejection. That's why some men say almost nothing and still create attraction, while other men say all the right things and still fail. Because attraction reacts more to emotional presence than memorized words. And in a moment, I'll explain the psychological habit that instantly separates emotionally attractive men from emotionally draining ones. But first, quick question for the comments. Have you ever met someone who became more attractive the longer you talked to them? Comment yes if you know exactly what that feels like. Now here's where psychology gets powerful. The men women feel safest around are usually the men who are not desperately trying to force anything. Read that again, because this alone changes everything. Pressure creates resistance. The harder someone emotionally pushes you, the more your brain naturally wants space. Women feel the exact same thing. The second a conversation feels transactional, like the man is trying too hard to get something, her emotional guard immediately activates. But calmness creates something completely different. Calmness creates curiosity. Curiosity creates emotional tension. And emotional tension is where attraction quietly grows. This is why emotionally intelligent men don't constantly chase reactions. They don't rush every silence. They don't panic if the interaction slows down for a second. They stay emotionally steady, and that steadiness becomes magnetic because it feels rare. Now let's go deeper into something almost nobody talks about. Most attraction is not created through direct words. It's created through emotional suggestion. Small, emotionally charged observations create far more connection than aggressive flirting ever will. For example, saying you have a calming energy feels very different from trying too hard to impress someone. Saying this conversation feels weirdly easy creates emotional awareness without pressure. These types of statements subtly guide someone into becoming conscious of the emotional experience happening between both of you. And psychologically, that changes everything. Because when people become aware of positive emotions in the moment, the connection starts feeling more real to them internally. That's why some conversations feel unforgettable even when nothing dramatic happened. The emotional atmosphere itself became memorable. And now we arrive at one of the most misunderstood concepts in attraction: masculine calmness. Most men think confidence means dominance, loudness, aggression, or trying to look emotionally untouchable. But real confidence feels calm. Real confidence feels relaxed. A truly confident man does not desperately need every interaction to succeed. He's emotionally okay either way. And that emotional stability completely changes the energy women feel around him. He's comfortable with silence, comfortable with eye contact, comfortable with slowing down, comfortable without constantly seeking reassurance. And women instinctively feel this difference because nervous men create emotional pressure. Calm men create emotional safety. And emotional safety allows attraction to expand naturally instead of feeling forced. But here's the part that changes the entire game. Most nervous men become obsessed with getting a yes. They become outcome focused instead of emotionally present. And the second your brain becomes attached to validation, your energy changes instantly. You stop listening naturally. You stop enjoying the moment naturally. Everything becomes performance. And women notice this faster than men realize. That's why emotionally attractive men focus less on controlling outcomes and more on understanding emotional flow. They pay attention to comfort, timing, energy, pace. They understand that forcing emotional progression almost always backfires. But allowing emotional progression often creates stronger attraction naturally. Now pay attention, because this next principle is one of the strongest psychological triggers in human connection: mirroring. Humans instinctively trust people who emotionally mirror their energy in a balanced way. If someone speaks calmly and you respond with calmness, their nervous system relaxes around you. If someone becomes playful and you naturally match that playfulness, connection deepens faster. Emotional mirroring creates subconscious feelings of understanding and emotional synchronization. This is why some conversations feel effortless. Both people slowly begin emotionally matching each other without realizing it. But most men ruin this by overreacting emotionally. If a woman shows slight interest, they suddenly become overwhelming. If she pulls back slightly, they panic emotionally. But emotionally intelligent men stay balanced. They mirror energy without losing emotional control. And that balance creates trust, comfort, and emotional attraction all at the same time. Here's another truth most men never hear. Women are not usually looking for perfection. They are looking for emotional experience. How someone feels around you matters more than trying to look flawless. Think about the people you remember most in life. Often it's not because they said perfect things. It's because of how they made you feel emotionally: calm, seen, comfortable, live, understood. Attraction works the exact same way. Emotional memory is stronger than logical memory. People forget exact words, but they remember emotional atmosphere for years. And the men who understand this stop trying to impress constantly. Instead, they focus on creating emotional moments that feel genuine and effortless. And now we return to the biggest secret from the beginning of this video: the final psychological shift that quietly changes how people feel around you: emotional patience. The ability to slow down emotionally instead of chasing immediate results. This is where most men fail because modern dating culture trains people to seek instant validation, instant replies, instant attraction, instant outcomes. But genuine emotional attraction often grows slowly beneath the surface before it becomes visible. And emotionally patient men understand this deeply. They don't force chemistry. They allow chemistry to reveal itself naturally over time. And ironically, this patience often makes attraction stronger because it removes pressure completely. That's why some men walk into a room and instantly change the emotional atmosphere without even trying too hard. Their energy feels grounded, present, emotionally stable, and people naturally relax around them. That calm emotional presence is far more powerful than memorized lines or fake alpha behavior. Because at the deepest psychological level, human beings are drawn toward emotional experiences that feel safe, exciting, effortless, and emotionally real. So if you learned something from this video, if this changed the way you look at attraction, confidence, and emotional connection even slightly, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and comment the word calm below. Want to know who actually stayed until the end? And trust me, the next video goes even deeper into the psychology of attraction, emotional intelligence, and the hidden behaviors that silently shape human connection every single day.